Hey everyone, Taylor here, and today we are talking about some juicy Dissidia Final Fantasy rumors. Yeah, remember that arcade game that came out in Japan like a year ago, and we're like, are we ever gonna get that game? Well, there's been some rumors that have been popping up, and there's been some teases in some magazines that I want to break down, and we'll figure out if this is actually happening. So the genesis of this rumor came from this website called Rash Bandicoot. I'm sure if anybody online today might have seen this story come up, but basically they found this. I think it's either a Reddit dump or some type of Google Docs dump, and they just were reporting it from some guy named Gino. And basically this guy Gino supposedly was a part of some marketing firm that knew a lot about Nintendo and stuff like that, and they were just pissed, and so they're like, all right, here's everything that's happening with Nintendo and the Switch and whatever. Now, again, take this with a giant grain of salt. Who knows if any of this is true, although we'll get to it in a minute that some teases in Famtisu might actually lend this rumor some credence. So basically, this guy in this info dump said that he's got some release dates for Switch, and in March, one of them is a game called Dissidia versus Final Fantasy. Now, the arcade game was just called Dissidia. They didn't have a subtitle for it, so everybody's like, okay, is this Dissidia? Is this the game that we've kind of all been waiting for to come to consoles and come to Vita? Not Vita, I wish it was coming to Vita, but you know, PS4 it seemed like was a foregone conclusion. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say they even put out some type of trailer sometime last year comparing the arcade version to the PS4 version. Like, here's what the PS4 version will look like when we eventually do that. So again, take that whole thing with a grain of salt, because again, never heard of Rash Bandicoot. I don't know anything about this website, but for them to kind of report on this, people seem to kind of be picking up on it bit by bit. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But today there was, or I think it was this last week, Famtisu put out an article. Okay, it actually was today on the article's timestamp. It's technically tomorrow in Japan, but I guess it would be today here. You know, so usually these Japanese gaming magazines at the end of the year, what they'll do is they'll go around to top directors, producers, people high up at various gaming companies, and they'll ask them, so what are your ambitions for 2017 for you and your team? And then what are you looking forward to is from other teams or just other pieces of entertainment? And so today, Famtisu posted something from Square Enix, and you know, they're interviewing various producers and directors, and so they interviewed a couple people on the Dissidia team. And first of all, this guy Tarada Takafumi, I mean, he just looks so sad. It's okay, dude, you don't have to be so sad, it's fine, it'll be okay. But anyway, this guy is talking about how they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary of the arcade game, and they want to bring the game global in 2017. And then there's another guy on the team, Ikuro-san, and again, this guy just looks miserable. Like, what is going on with the Dissidia team? They just do not look happy over there. But basically, he was saying they didn't want to put out Dissidia on consoles for a year. They wanted to keep it an exclusive, and it was hard for them to do because obviously Square Enix is first and foremost a company that makes console games. And he also said that Dissidia, this new Dissidia, was the concept was created from Tetsuya Nomura, and the whole thing was meant to be a console game. So for them to say they wanted to keep it a console exclusive for a year, and they just had that anniversary, and that they also want to bring Dissidia to a global market, I just think all this is syncing up. And we've got that Final Fantasy 30th anniversary coming up very, very soon. I believe it's in January. So for them to kind of tease what's going on with Dissidia, and for this rumor to kind of come out, I think it's all matching up. I think it all makes sense. The one weird thing is that it's going to be on Switch. That's from Rash Bandicoot, that site and that whole info dump. That's the one thing that sticks out to me, because they already pretty much said that they're going to do a PS4 version, but then for them to also do a Switch version, that's interesting. They must be really throwing some support behind Nintendo at this launch. So what do you guys think? Do you believe this rumor? Do you think that Dissidia could be coming out in March? Or do you think it'll be later in the summer or in 2017 at all? Frankly, I think that's a game that could definitely be a spring release. I don't know about March. It seems like that's a little hot to come out that soon in 3 months. And also we've got that Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 remix edition coming to PS4 that same month. So that might be a little too much, but you know, maybe closer to summer makes a lot of sense. And hopefully we don't have to wait, like there won't be a gap. Square Enix has been really good about releasing the Japanese version and the North American version at the same time. They did that with Dissidia, and obviously they did that with Final Fantasy 15. So I don't think we're gonna have to wait too long should that come out soon. So definitely want to hear what you guys think of this rumor, if it's true, if these teases are actually leading towards that. And also, enjoy this video, definitely give it a like. It helps, and it makes me feel good, and hopefully makes you feel good to make me feel good. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're coming across this video randomly, or you just watch my videos and you don't subscribe, definitely subscribe. I always put out, try to put out videos on a regular basis. And yeah, if you love Japanese gaming and anime content, then this is the channel for you. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.